The Nigerian army says it will investigate after 2 soldiers were reportedly arrested over the murder of an Islamic cleric in Yobe State, Sheikh GONI GASHUA. According to a statement signed by Army spokesperson Kennedy Anyanwu, the army is already in touch with the Yobe State Police Command to unravel the identity of suspected soldiers. Additionally, the sector has instituted a board of inquiry to unravel the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident. The Army Authority assures at the end of the investigation, the soldiers will be made to face the full wrath of both military and civil laws. Gunmen abducted 4 Catholic nuns on a highway in Nigeria's oil-producing Imo State in the southeast. A local convent said on Monday, in the latest sign of widespread insecurity making road travel unsafe. Armed gangs have been kidnapping people, including priests, for ransom from villages and on highways mainly in the northwest, and the practice has spread to other parts of the country, increasing insecurity in Africa's most populous nation. Zita Ihedero, Secretary General of Sisters of Jesus, the Savior Generalate, said the 4 were abducted while traveling from Rivers State to Imo for a Thanksgiving Mass on Sunday. Ihedero called for intense prayer for their quick and safe release. In the northwest, Nigeria's military has started an air offensive to eliminate the armed groups responsible for kidnapping citizens from villages and towns in the region. The Lagos State government has warned property owners and developers to desist from using children as laborers at construction sites. The General Manager of Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority, Kehinde Oshinaike, made a call while speaking on the report of an enforcement exercise carried out by the Monitoring and Compliance Unit of LASPA, maintaining that the trend is common in most construction sites across the state. He noted, quote, "Child abuse and exploitation have negative effects on children, and such practices deprive the children of their childhood, apart from subjecting them to strenuous work that is also mentally, physically, socially, and morally harmful to their well-being," end of quote. He advised property owners and developers in the state to always seek the services of experienced professionals in the build sector before embarking on any project against using quacks. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has given the Edo State Police Command and other relevant authorities 7 days ultimatum to unravel the true situation of the alleged discovery of ritualist den along Ekenwa Road axis of Benin City, the state capital. IBrandTV senior reporter Ibojo Korea, who was at the press conference, has the details.
I want to appeal to all members of the public to remain calm as the command will assure that every effort will be made to reach the suspects.
A lot of speculations going around. Some people suspect that the place is a quack, morgue where they preserve bodies. All kinds of speculations are out there. So we're going to leave that to the police to conclude their investigation and brief exactly what was going on there. Some people have been apprehended. They are undergoing questioning. Some people are still being looked for. They will be apprehended and they will contribute useful information as well. And in due course, the governor has actually given us 7 days for them to come back to us with details of what they found out. Was this just a morgue? Was any ritual involved? What actually is the situation? No conclusions have been drawn yet.
From the African scene, drone footage from Al Jazeera province showed the village and surrounding area partially submerged by flood waters. The death toll since the rainy season kicked off in May stood at 77 people. Brigadier General Abdul Jalil Abdul Rahim, a spokesman for Sudan's National Council for Civil Defense, had said. Al-Tahir Osman, a resident affected by the floods, reported that there were many trapped with acute health conditions. In 2020, authorities declared Sudan a natural disaster area and imposed a 3-month state of emergency across the country after a deluge killed around 100 people and inundated over 100,000 houses. Sudan's rainy season usually lasts until September, with floods peaking just before then. And French President Emmanuel Macron will visit former colonial Algeria on Thursday in a bid to improve strained ties between Paris and Algiers. French-Algerian ties hit a low late last year after Macron reportedly questioned whether Algeria had existed as a nation before the French invasion and accused its political military system of rewriting history and fomenting hatred towards France. Algeria withdrew its ambassador in response, but the two sides appear to have mended ties since. Macron is to visit Algeria from Thursday to Saturday this week. Kenya's veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga filed a challenge to the results of this month's presidential election in the Supreme Court on Monday, sharpening a political clash that has gripped East Africa's powerhouse. In the petition, Odinga asked the court to nullify the vote's outcome on several grounds, including a mismatch between the turnout figures and the result, and failure by the commission to tally ballots from 27 constituencies as required by law. The petition states the final result was therefore not complete, accurate, verifiable, or accountable, and cannot be the basis for a valid and legitimate declaration. Last week, the election commissioner declared Deputy President William Ruto had won the election by a slim margin, but 4 out of 7 election commissioners dissented, saying the tallying of results had not been transparent. The commission, its chairman, and Ruto have 4 days to respond to Odinga's claims through court filings. And Mali has appointed an interim prime minister to act in place of leader Shogol MAIGA, who is resting amid media reports he had been hospitalized. Colonel Abdoulaye MAIGA, currently government spokesman and Minister of Territorial Administration, is the new acting prime minister, a government statement had said. Earlier this month, Paris-based Jeune Afrique magazine reported that Shogol MAIGA had suffered a stroke, citing sources close to him. One of Shogol MAIGA's advisors denied this when contacted by Reuters, and his office said he would resume his duties by the following week, but he did not. Mali is governed by a military junta that came to power in a 2020 coup and has promised to organize democratic elections in 2024. And moving on to the international scene, Russia's Federal Security Service on Monday accused Ukraine's secret services of killing Daria Dugina, the daughter of a Russian ultra-nationalist, Russian news agencies reported. Dugina, whose father is prominent ideologue Alexander Dugin, was killed on Saturday evening when a suspected explosive device blew up the Toyota Land Cruiser she was driving, Russian investigators said. Ukraine has denied involvement. The FSB said the attack was carried out by a Ukrainian woman born in 1979, whom it named. It said the woman and her teenage daughter had arrived in Russia in July and spent a month preparing the attack by renting an apartment in the same housing block and researching Dugina's lifestyle, according to an FSB statement carried by Russian news agencies. There was no immediate response from Kyiv to the FSB statement. And at least 20 people have been killed in flash floods in central Afghanistan over the last 48 hours, the disaster management officials said on Monday, with heavy rain destroying thousands of homes and damaging agricultural land. The country has been reeling from natural disasters this year, including a drought and a massive earthquake that killed over 1,000 people in June. The spokesman for Afghanistan's disaster management authority said 20 are dead, 35 have been injured due to flooding in Lugar province, and official reports put the toll much higher. The Taliban government, which took over the country last August, has struggled to cope with the disasters and has called for assistance. A Chinese military survey ship that docked at Sri Lanka's Chinese-built port of Hambantota, despite opposition from neighboring India, left on Monday after a week-long stay, the port company told Reuters. Analysts say the Yuan Wang 5 is among a group of Chinese ships that monitor satellite, rocket and intercontinental ballistic missile launches. India, Sri Lanka's northern neighbor, fears China could use the port as a military base. Sri Lanka, facing its worst economic crisis in decades and in need of financial support from both China and India, had delayed the ship's arrival after India raised its concerns, but gave in to Chinese demands later. The ship has now left the southern Sri Lankan port, said the Hambantota International Port Group, a partnership between Sri Lanka's government and China Merchants Port Holdings. The ship's next destination was not immediately known. I will take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment stories. Stay with us.